The first 2 years of her life were completely normal. She did everything that her twin sister did. Things changed drastically on September 5th of 2003. We had gone to the lake, and we had driven up to the lake, and we were getting out of the car, arriving, and Ella got out of the car, and she kept tripping between the car and the door of the house. And I was like, Ella, what's wrong? And she said, I don't know, Mommy, my legs are broken, they won't work. Her pediatrician immediately sent her over for x-ray. Pediatrician came back out and said, she has bucket handle fractures in her knees. We're concerned that there's been some type of child abuse activity that's created this. We were shocked, but still had no idea what lied ahead of us. Child Protective Services said they were going to send the police. They only do that when they are going to take your child away. They interviewed the girls separately. They interviewed, our oldest separately. And with that, they came to the conclusion that it was okay to let her stay in our custody that evening as long as my mother stayed. So the next morning, we had promised them that we would go for a full skeletal survey of Ella at the hospital. We took her in, and they did Ella first, and then they did Berkeley. And while they were surveying or x-raying Berkeley, the radiologist came out, Dr. Dunlap, and said that they could stop on Berkeley, that it was, in fact, not child abuse. And that's when he told us the devastating news that changed our life. You have to look for the silver lining to see, okay, what was really happening here? And in looking back, in retrospect, it really saved Ella's life. Because had they not suspected the child abuse, they would not have rushed her in to be x-rayed, whereby we found the tumors. And at the point in which we found those, they were massive, and she was in danger. It was time to move, and we had to move quick.
There was a pulmonologist, cardiologist, an oncologist, a surgeon, a respiratory therapist, anesthesiologist that were all called to the OR room where we were sitting. Her chemo was started, I believe they started Cytoxin, which they nicknamed the Red Devil because it makes them very sick.
When you hear the C word, it's never good. I mean, that's how we're raised. And it was scary. Ella was such a trooper. She, her daddy and I were both very upset. And she actually turned to us at one point and she was like, don't cry, Mommy. It's okay. I'm gonna be okay. And, when you have a 2.5-year-old telling you that, it's pretty remarkable.
We felt very strongly that when Ella was diagnosed, that it's our job as parents to make sure this doesn't happen to another child. We have got to figure out a way to get involved and to help others and to educate people.
We did not realize that half of the children in that oncology floor were benefiting directly from LLS.
I had no idea about the progress that LLS had made over the years before Ella was diagnosed, and now it's astounding to me what we've done as an organization. It is, the thousands of volunteers and the staffers and the people at LLS, it's the most amazing organization I've ever been involved with. Our researchers are always looking to cure blood cancers, but the impact of what they've done has been very helpful in the whole cancer world.
Had we not had benefit of their research, then I don't know that we would be sitting here today.
Nearly half of the cancer drugs that were approved by the FDA from the years 2000 to 2012 were LLS drugs from the beginning. They were founded by researchers for LLS and funded by the LLS. We've come a long way, but there's still a long way to go. You've got to be able to walk into that doctor's office and know that someday is today. To know that they're going to cure your cancer. They're going to help you get through this, and you're going to be okay. And that's the goal, is to have every patient feel that way, where they walk into a hospital in San Antonio, Texas, or they walk into a hospital in New York City, or they walk into a hospital in, London. In the time that I sat here talking about this today, 15 people in our country will be diagnosed with blood cancer. 15. That's unacceptable.
We celebrate every year. We have celebrated every year on September 5th. It's kind of Ella's day. And she reminds us it's her cancer-free birthday.
I think Ella's one in 500,000 at her age that gets her diagnosis. So, but it's a great feeling. It's you beat this. All the work we've done, all the tears and sweat and pain we went through, and here we are today, and we've got a healthy, happy child, and you feel proud.